Hey guys, what's good everybody? I am super excited to be back with another video. So like a few weeks back I shared about my struggle with masturbation, pornography, fear of death, and it's been amazing because I've been receiving so many testimonies from people. I've been talking to a few people that have also struggled, and it's been just amazing having those conversations because I'm like, we should have these conversations more often. So today I'm gonna share something else that is also a part of my story. So I call this entire thing my journey to God, okay? But I call this part gracefully broken. And I mean, we're in a time where, you know, our faith is being shifted and a lot is happening around the world, and you know, I just decided maybe I should also just share this part, and which helped actually to build my faith, helped me to know what it is to have a relationship with God, which is something that I never really knew. I always knew religion and, you know, going to church, praying, fasting, all of those things, but I really didn't know what it is to have a relationship with God. So I call this gracefully broken. So let's get into it. So 5 years ago, I was in a relationship. I thought that this was like the man for me. This was like the one, okay? And I thought that this person was going to be my husband. I was very young though, but I don't know why I thought that person was going to be my husband. But anyway, that's what I thought. I thought that person was going to be my husband. And so I was in that relationship for about a year and some months, I think. And then I experienced betrayal from the person that I was in a relationship with because of cheating, you know, and how that just broke my heart. Like, I was really broken. I was really hurt. We're not going to get into what that person did because that is not what I want to talk about, because that person is not here to defend themselves, but I am here to talk about my story and what I learned from all of it. So I experienced that betrayal, which was really hard for me. But then, you know, when you sit down and you're like, God, take this away from me. When you experience that kind of pain, you have finally experienced a heartbreak because you're just like, God, I just need you to take away the pain. I don't need anything else from you. Like, if you're never gonna give me anything else in life, it's fine. But this pain, this pain is something that I cannot bear. I just need you to take it away from me, you know. That is exactly where I was. And I remember a friend of mine, she was like, well, let's go to church on Sunday. And really, I was like, child, like, not today, please. Like, I don't feel like going to church and I am not going to church. But she kept saying, well, let's go to church. And I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, let's go to church. And so I went to church with her and it was amazing. I had a nice time in church. And then the next Sunday I was like, now I'm actually going by myself, you know, because all I just wanted was just God to just like take away the pain that I was feeling inside, because my heart was literally shattered. It was broken, and you know, a lot was going on. And in that time, that is when I started to experience the transformational power of God in what it is to really have a relationship with Him and what it is to walk with God, which is something that I didn't have before, because all I just knew was praying and going to church. But I really didn't know that I could actually have a relationship with this person. I could actually sit down and be like, hey God, let's have a conversation. All of that is something that I actually didn't know that I could actually do. And one thing that I also started to see in my life is that it's very easy to treat someone as an idol or to treat them as a little God. Okay, because for me, because I didn't have a relationship with God, it means that there was still a void inside of me, and a void that you are born with. Like, generally in humanity, that it's there for each and every person, and if it's not filled with God, we will always be going out to look for something else to fill that void with. And for me, that is when I realized that it was so easy for me to idolize a person and to expect that person to give me things that only God can give me. So I expected this person to give me peace, because that is the time when I was struggling with fear of death. So, you know, when you're struggling with fear, the only thing that you need is some sense of peace. So I expected that person to give me that kind of inner peace. I expected that person to give me joy. I expected that person to make sure that I'm happy happy. I had so much expectations that I put on another person, and those expectations are things that only God can meet, and any normal human being cannot do all of that for me, because I had those expectations, my heart would continue being broken in so many instances, because I always wanted them to be what they could not be for me. And that is when I began to realize that flow. I held back, and I'm like, God, all this while I've been blaming this person to say they cheated on me, they had me, and all of that. And when God allowed that to happen, I was like, what is going on? And it's like they're taking away my crutch, because this is the only thing that I was depending on, and when your whole life becomes so much dependent on someone, there's something wrong. And so I began to learn that, and God just saying, you know what, you have been too dependent on this person. I tried to show you so many red flags, I tried to show you so many things that are wrong, but you kept on holding on. Because for me, I kept holding on because that was my crutch. If I let it go, then how I'm gonna live my whole life? And God just said, okay, I'm gonna show you something that is gonna cause you to pull away. So that caused me to pull away, and I began to realize that I was treating this person as an idol. And just getting into a space of repenting from that, to be like, God, I've allowed somebody else to take your place. I didn't even know they were taking your place. I did it unknowingly. And most of the times we do that, and we are seeking things over and over to fill the void that only God can satisfy. So in learning that, it helped me now to know that, okay, if you are the one who satisfies, then I need to know you. I need to walk with you. I need to have a relationship with you. And that shifted me in a space of trying now to know what it is to have a relationship with God, to know God's character, to know who He is, His nature, and delve into that space of knowing God. It just helped me to be like, so I cannot say when God took away the pain, but I can only say that I think in the moment that I was walking in the way of walking in a relationship with Him, God was also removing the pain, because it just happened, and the next day, one day, I wake up and I don't feel that pain, I don't feel that anger, I don't feel that frustration. I'm not, I have the ability to say I can forgive this person, in as much as I didn't get a sorry from them, but because I have experienced this transformational love of God, it's just helping me to be like, God, I just want to forgive this person. That is something that is one of the things that I learned, because I had been completely shattered. I had been heartbroken. I was crying over and over. I remember my friends would come to my house, and they would find me on my bed, and I'm just crying, and I'm just in tears. And that was not the prettiest time at all, but it taught me to press into God. It taught me to just start to walk with Him, because that was when I experienced the shift and the transformational power of God. My lifestyle even changed, because I was just like, you know what, I don't want anything else. I don't want to talk about anything else. I started listening to all the sermons, any sermon that I could get on YouTube. I'm listening to any sermon, I'm listening to any worship song, and that's when I found Gracefully Broken from Tasha Cobbs. And it really helped me, because when I sit down now, I don't see it from the place of, God, you broke my heart. I see it as, wow, God, you loved me, and you saw it good for me to be broken. You saw it good that it's rather I break you and make sure that you are broken, gracefully broken, in order for me to have access to you. And that was so beautiful of God. Now I don't see it as pain. I just see it as the love of God and His grace for me, and to be like, He allowed this in order for me to meet Him, in order for me to start walking with Him, in order for me to know that it was so easy for me to take anything else and make it an idol, and start worshiping that person without even knowing it, and God just allowing me to just be in that space. It helped me so much to just have a relationship with God, and God just started to put to surface some of the broken things about me, my insecurities, how much I was not a good communicator, all of those things God just started to bring up to the surface. I'm like, I feel like you're attacking me, but okay, if you think that we need to work on this thing, then maybe we need to work on it. And I mean, that was just the beauty of what God did for me in, that broken relationship and that pain. I feel like that was an instrumental time that created trust in God, that created just knowing that He is for me and that He loves me, and also knowing that I'm also supposed to have compassion on somebody else, because in as much as this person was wrong, I was also wrong in my way. And it helped me to start learning to build authentic relationships with people. It shifted my perspective of who God is and what He can do, and to allow me to come back to a place of learning how to communicate. And it also created the ability to find satisfaction in God, because I was looking for somebody else to satisfy me, and for somebody else to be like giving me the peace. That's why I don't agree with the statement that always goes about that be His peace, child. I mean, you gotta find God as your peace first before you say that somebody else should bring peace in the home. I just feel like it's so important that you should have peace that surpasses all understanding, and that's the only peace that you can find in God. So I feel like in as much as that statement, for me, I'm not comfortable with it, because I believe that it kind of like pushes people in the direction of desiring that somebody else should be something that only God can be for them, and giving somebody authority to be God over your life when they're not supposed to be. So in as much as there should be peace in a relationship, in a home, I also believe that inner peace comes from God. And that's something that I found, and that's something that I learned in my brokenness and in the pain that I faced in this relationship that was hard for me. And that is why I call it gracefully broken, because in as much as I was broken, now I don't see it as pain, or I don't see it as God hated me, or I don't see it, oh God, you did something bad to me. But now I see it, oh God, you loved me so much that you brought this thing to the surface in order for it to be dealt with. So yeah, that is how I experienced the love of God in a relationship that I thought was gonna last forever. And it's been His grace that has been keeping me over and over again, and just learning to forgive, just learning to have compassion, just learning to have a relationship with Him, and also being mindful of the things that I can allow to be idols in my life unknowingly, and just coming back to a place of repentance to be like, God, I repent for trying to make all of these things take your place, instead of just allowing myself to walk with you and be in a relationship with you. So that is some of the things that I learned in that broken relationship. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope this helps somebody else who's probably created an idolized a relationship, or idolize somebody else, in trying to expect a lot from that person, and the things that you expect are only things that God can give you. I feel like that was freedom for me to say, now I need to learn how to create healthy relationships. I need to know how to have authentic and healthy and beautiful relationships, be it platonic or romantic. And that helped me a lot, and I pray that it will also help somebody else. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.